Good morning, Spartans. Welcome to Wednesday here in the market. Time to get things kicked off and going this morning. Um, as usual, still haven't looked at the market. I do that live here with you guys. Um, Real quick, I don't know. Um, on my end, I'm getting a little bit of buzz feedback through my speakers. I don't know if you guys hear that. If you do, let me know. I'll dig into it. If not, then probably just on my end, and I will just deal with it. All right. Like I said, I have not looked at the market. This morning was PPI numbers. Looks like SPY did pop off a PPI, which we were expecting some movement, so it's fine. IWM came down, PPI came out, and we popped right back up into range. That's awesome. Oh, getting things set up here. Then we'll get going. Yeah, new all-time high there on SPY. Google new all-time high. Very cool. Nice push up. AMD, Nvidia, Tesla pushing here. Pre-market. PayPal kind of sideways, and Walmart down, kind of like we were, or I was thinking it would. Uh, when SPY goes up, Walmart usually goes down, vice versa. No clue why. Just kind of one of those things that that happen. All right, give me a sec. I'm gonna jump in, do the private group stuff real quick, get those guys up and rolling, and then I'm gonna come back and, like I said, we're gonna clean up some of these charts, get everything updated, reset for today. And like usual, if you got any questions, comments, anything you want me to look at when I come back, post up there in chat. We'll handle that as soon as I get back. Not actually going anywhere. I'm just going to focus on those guys for a few minutes so you get to watch me type and look at some charts and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, like I said, if you got any questions or anything I can help you with this morning, please post up in chat and we will knock that out as soon as we get back. So. Sorry about that, guys. This weather change and the allergies are just killing me right now. Seems like after I wake up, it takes a while to kind of get everything cleaned out and going. And oh, almost done here, guys. All right. One more quick thing. Posted. All right. And then we're going to jump in here and get these charts. We got 15 minutes, so no real rush. So we're going to get these charts set up. Looks like nobody had any questions, so that's cool. That is cool. You guys should know now, by now, that I'm pretty laid back. So if you guys had questions, of course I'd do anything I can to answer them. If not, no big deal. No sweat off my back. Goodness. Okay, done. Let's jump into some charting. So, jump over real quick. Of course, this yellow line is our all-time high. Google popped all-time high yesterday. and we kept pushing for a new all-time high in pre-market this morning. So we're going to adjust that up 240.83. Lock that in. And we do this during the morning. We don't really do it during the day. So if this does break, no big deal. We'll just update it tomorrow morning. So done. Let me throw SPY up on main chart here. And looks like same deal. SPY broke all-time high briefly in after hours, and then again pre-market, especially after that PPI numbers came out and pushed it up. So we kind of figured it would. So let's get that updated. 654.80, 654.80, and then lock it in. Now we're going to clean up yesterday's chart. This was pre-market high and all-time highs yesterday. Since now we're over that level, that's going to be our orange for today. So let's go ahead and denote that. Pre-market high Tuesday. Had to think what day it was. And Tuesday all-time high. Remember, if you see this dotted line, that dotted line represents two different things. Yesterday it represented our PM high and our all-time high. So we needed to note that. Now it's going to go solid because now it's just going to represent one thing. And we're going to turn it orange for today's carryover, so to speak. Looks like we may even use that as a resistance coming up. So this, or resistance support. So if you look, and that was not all-time high, that was session high. There we go. Session high Monday. What it was. You can see that pretty good area of support resistance. So we need to look at that tomorrow, and we may keep that as a support and resistance line. Support and resistance really hard to trade or to chart up here. Kind of hinted on that if you're in the private group this morning, just because there's nothing to base it off of. This is all-time highs. What does that mean? SPY's never been here before, so I can't go back to yesterday and see what it did in this range. I can't go back last week or whatever because we've never been here. So setting support resistance up here is tough, unlike down here where we've traded. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, so we got our our orange carried over. Everything else from there down can go. So this can delete, kill this off, except for our green, which is down there. Remember, greens are support and resistance. We never get rid of those. Never, ever, ever. Support and resistance is a historical line, not a one-time use daily line. Okay. We do need to make this a dotted yellow because it's also going to be our pre-market, of course, because we popped in pre-market. So we won't have a pre-market high. We will have a dotted yellow for a pre-market all-time high. Pre-market lows. It's going to be pretty much right at Bell. So we do have this wick down. This wick is going to put us right on that green. Remember, these lines are just areas, not line drawn in the sand. It's just an area. So I'm going to move it up to the base of, or to the bottom of these, just to give me a little bit more room off this orange, because I really don't like doubling up unless I have to. Um, and this little flip between here and here, what is that? 99 to 86. I mean, those 13 cents difference between the two is not going to make or break anything. We're not going to lose a trade because of that. It's not going to affect anything. All right. So then we're going to do our session high, session low from yesterday. Session low 647.22. That's close enough. 2 cents off, no big deal. And lock that in. Did I lock in our purple? No, I did not. If you're on Weeble, and I don't know about other platforms, locking it in is nice because a lot of times I'll grab the chart and throw it over. If I accidentally click on one of these lines and it's unlocked, then you just moved your line and not your chart, and now you're just kind of panicking, wondering what you just messed up. So just important little tidbit, lock those. And now we're going to do session high, which is top of this little wick here. There we go. And I did not lock it in after giving that speech. All right, so there we go. SPY is set up, all-time high, pre-market high, session high from yesterday, pre-market low, carryover from yesterday, which is our PM high on Tuesday, session high on Monday, and then we've got session low way down here at 647.22. So now we're going to do the exact same thing here on IWM. Like I said earlier when I first jumped on stream, we were up here on this session high from yesterday, and PPI came out. We pushed up. We were on session low from previous day, from Monday on IWM. PPI came out and pushed us back in range. So not as cool. All right. So this is going to be our PM low from Monday. Okay, because no, excuse me, Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. This is our PM low from yesterday. This is going to be our orange because this is right where we're at. This is going to be our carryover. So this one's going to be our PM low Tuesday. And carryover, what happens goes orange. Okay. Sometimes if we're close, if let's say our opening range was here, I would orange both of those, but not really concerned because we're right here at this one. Then everything else minus green can go. What's interesting about that pop there on IWM off of PPI is we popped right up to the support level, or resistance, excuse me. So it having that support and resistance is I can't stress that enough. If you guys are not charting support resistance, or you don't know how, please get with me and let me know. I mean, that learning support and resistance by far best game changer you can do for your trading. Okay, so there's our pre-market high. Lock it in. Let's come find our pre-market low. 235.75. Pre-market low. And you guys out there, you don't have to follow the same color pattern as I do. Just keep it. Whatever you decide to pick, just stick with it. Nothing like you doing hot pink today and changing it to red the following day. You never, just pick a color and stick with it. 235.42. Bam. And these are going to be our session low from yesterday. And then session high was going to be, actually, we did not break it. Session high all day. SPY was pretty range bound for the most part yesterday. that area. SPY. Jump over. SPY right now is trading at 5.5 on the day. That's 5.5 points. So session high, session low. 235, 230, or 235.42 yesterday was session low. Session high was 238 even. Like I said, just rough numbers off of our charting we just did. So what is that? That's not even, that's just a tick over 2.5 points. So SPY moved 2.5 points yesterday when the daily average on SPY right now is 5.48. So we were 3 points shy of a movement. So SPY's seen half the movement of what it's typically been seeing. That equates to a range bound day, guys. These range bound days are extreme. I'm talking IWM and SPY. Holy crap! I need more coffee. 247.20 to 650 on SPY. Excuse me. So still 3.5 points roughly. Either way, market was range bound yesterday. IWM, let me pull that up. It's 3.27. So we were a point off on IWM for range bound, but it was within its range, and we didn't see a breakout yesterday on IWM or SPY. We seen this at the top end of our range, and then we dropped back in it during market. So, and then we never broke out either direction. SPY tried to after hours, but if you look at the big picture, we only broke out a little bit. That's back on IWM. What am I doing? SPY broke out after hours, but we still never got out of our opening range really until right at the end of the day. So the market's been really choppy and range bound. Anyway, so we got a minute left. Please make sure you check your account status so you know what you can and cannot get into. Yeah, that's pretty common sense. You need to make sure you do that daily. So we got less than a minute. Sorry, I got a little long-winded. Started rambling. Looks like Apple and Google and PayPal, big drop there coming in. So $15 seconds, guys. 15 seconds. Then we'll ask the Magic 8 Ball and see what we're doing today. All right, here we go. Market is live. Let's get it. So IWM's dropping through that resistance or that support already. SPY starting to drop back. Which, I mean, this is just opening movement. I really don't care what it does right here. I know some people like to play right off a bell, but to me that's complete gambling. What we do, we trade options. Options you can only trade 9:30 on. What a stock was doing this morning at 8:30, it has very little bearing on what it will do during the market hours. So to me, if you buy in right at bell, you're gambling because you have no clue what it's going to do and have nothing to base it off of. Walmart, big pop there. Once again, Walmart goes up, SPY goes down. I no idea why the correlation between the two. It just seems to happen like that. after we got off stream yesterday, we did take um one more trade. It looks like I wanted to go back and look. Um, it was on this afternoon push that we had on SPY. We grabbed a 650 call, 0 DTE, meaning it expired yesterday, so we couldn't carry it over till today. Um, we grabbed it at $35 and it ran to 88. So nice little home run there in the end of the day. And like I said, that was after stream, so that was alerted in real time to the private group yesterday afternoon. Okay, let's do this. So, ask the Magic 8 Ball, is the market going to drop back today? Twitch 8 Ball says, look deep into your heart and you will see the answer. Okay. And then YouTube says, it is so. So I guess they're saying it's going to drop back. I mean, we're already dropping back here early on. I don't want to look deep into my heart to find the answer because that evokes emotions and there's no room for emotions in trading. So, not sure if I side with Magic 8 Ball this morning. If you guys ever need to ask the Magic 8 Ball a question, you definitely can. Just use the prompt !8 ball and it will answer all your questions, whether it's true or not. I can't answer that. Only the Magic 8 Ball knows, and it is definitely not financial advice. But it's fun. The other day we ran it, and he was pretty spot on. I don't remember what we were asking it, but Apple still really pulling back. Apple's just expensive. Yesterday on stream, we had some guys. Damn, I should have held my Nvidia call. Yeah, you were in that 170. Nvidia did push, but that weren't you up on that one? I know we talked about it yesterday. See, I know you say that looking at it now, but I don't know if I would have because all that Nvidia movement was pretty much in after hours. We did break back to that 170, but that was risky, and you never know what PPI is going to do. This week PPI pushed. Next time we have PPI, it could dump, and then the next two times, you're going to think PPI is going to move the market, and it could just go sideways. So I don't like playing into events because events to me is kind of like gambling, and you never know what's going to happen. Walmart, AMD starting to drop back. Tesla coming in as some support here. 348.58. Watch that. Shocked to see SPY dropping back. I mean, Apple dropping back and SPY not really getting affected by it. Because you've got Apple dropping, Tesla dropping, AMD dropping. But SPY kind of holding its own for now. But like I was saying, I think when I read your comment there, Xling, if you guys see anything or want me to take a look at anything, uh, post up there in chat. I'm more than happy to help. AMD through support. That's unusual as well to see AMD moving solidly in one direction and Nvidia moving solidly in the other. Um, Another reason I would not be holding Nvidia. Tesla through support there. Oh, sweet. When did that come through, actually? Um, I don't trade much on news, but just like events and things, I've seen great news go one way, then next time great news go the other. So we're 11 minutes in. AMD and Tesla trying to break to the downside. Um, Apple trying to get away from that 230 level, which is going to see some support resistance, hold number support resistance, and Oracle looked like it wanted to push. It says it in the corner when you open up NVIDIA on TradingView. Assume the news happened recently. I think I think on Webull, that's what I trade on. It will say it too, but um, I think I actually got the news turned off, to be honest with you. Let's see. Okay. So I just quickly asked ChatGPT, um, and it said that H2O chips were banned due to national security concerns in April. Um, go through some, and then in August, it just says August 2025, um, that NVIDIA got, well, it agreed to pay 15% of its revenue for their China chip sales to the U.S. government as part of the export license. So basically, um, in April it got banned and they weren't allowed to, and then now they are because they're agreeing to pay 15% of their revenue to the government. So, yeah. And while I was running my mouth, we PT'd on a trade. Quick trade, um, just good setup. Super high risk. I went small on it, but profit is profit, and making money this morning on Apple with that drop here on Apple. The setup was just really nice. We had a big push yesterday on Apple, so we were retracing a lot of that. 227.5p. We alerted it at 1.17 in the group, and PT was 1.40 for 20%. I also alerted 10% for those guys that wanted 10% in the group, because it was alerted as a high risk. But I don't know if I would chase this. As you can see, we're starting to bounce back up. We're 15 minutes in. This could be definitely a liquidity sweep to the downside, so they can buy it more to the upside. So I wouldn't chase it. I wouldn't hold that. If you're in the private group, I would not hope and pray. Hope is not a tactic. Got that pushing for you guys. Yeah, see what I was talking about? That liquidity sweep to the downside. I wouldn't play this to the upside. Um, we definitely have some support and resistance we've got to get through. Just kind of giving it a little bit of time. Looks like market's wanting to push up. I do like this bounce here off support with IWM and want to wait till we kind of get over this pre-market high, so we can see it a little bit more to the upside. Kind of watching the SPY too, see if we're going to retest this all-time high level. PayPal looks like it's pushing off support, and Tesla looks like it's wanting to reverse. So we could see an up day, guys. Still too early to tell, but I just kind of want to feel it out. We did take that nice trade on Apple, like quick return. Now we're batting that session high level from yesterday. So if you were with us this morning and we drew our lines, this is why we draw those lines. That you can see the importance of that session high. We really need to push over that. You can see that it was an area of resistance in pre-market as well. Tesla's starting to drop back. And see, still holding that session. Next thing, if you're around, that Nvidia is trying to drop as well. All right, 52 minutes. All right, 52 minutes. 22 minutes in 9:52. We are going to give it about another 10 minutes or so, and then we're going to do our opening range levels, SPY, IWM, just to give us that another ballpark where we need to be. Check on a few things. Yeah, I thought BABA had new highs. 148 even. Close enough. Wasn't expecting that at all. 22.95. Even though that happened today, I don't look at it enough. I usually don't adjust all-time highs during trading hours. I usually do them pre-market. We just hit all-time high there on Hood, but I want to since we're right here. I've been saying for a while. I know we trade options, but Hood is one of those, especially around 100, that I wouldn't mind adding for commons. I would interesting to see if we reject off of that level. So far we are, but we're just down to VWAP now. Thoughts on what? So is it CIRCL? I made money on a put on it last week, but right now it's pushing past recent highs. Excuse me. And the ticker is CIRCL. Or I see CRCL. Well, that might be it. Circle Internet Group Incorporated. If it's okay. CRCL. Um, First thing that I see when I pull it up here. Let me pull it up so you guys can see it. My bad. I run off of two different things here, so that way you guys can see. Um, Look at the big picture. There's the 30. Here's the hour. Definitely has a solid downtrend. We looks like 262.97, 98. Recent IPO as of 6/5, which kind of scary. So we've only got a few months of trading. Yeah, so it looks like it IPO'd at 66.75, quickly went to 6.98. So uh, big opening push, bobbled around a little bit, and another opening push here. Um, yeah, and then we didn't get as high. Excuse me, that was 262.97. Then we started dropping back. So if you look at the overall big picture over the last month and a half, we've been in a good downtrend. My first initial thought would be sorry, just kind of keep an eye on everything else. My first initial thought would be more to the downside. We look like we're getting ready to hit this support resistance. That's a moving support and resistance. We could push over it. I'd wait for that rejection to the downside, which you can see we're right at it now and trying to pop. Um, if I bought puts like you were saying you did last week, um, that was sometime in this range. You could have bought right off of this support resistance, this moving support resistance to the downside. Um, but I would wait till we kind of pushed off this level. Um, if you do look right now, we are in uptrend, kind of, but it could be from PPI. This is today, right off that support resistance that we were watching. Now this is the 5 minute. We were just looking at the 1 hour. So pushing up, and we could drop back. I'm not too overly concerned with this. You could get a scalp. It could pay to the upside. I'm not sure, but overall, it looks like it wants more to the downside. If you play it, definitely buy the time. But me, I'd probably stay out of it. One, let's see. If I played it, I would probably give it, like I said yesterday, 30-ish days, 45 days. 30 days from today is going to be October 10th. Puts is not cheap, and kind of wacky. So, and on top of that, you're only trading at 2.7 million. So volume is kind of low as well. So finding that open interest that you need, well, there's some open interest on the put side, um, but yeah, not a whole lot. Spreads are quite high for that far out. So if I played it, it would be a scalp. But honestly, for me and the group, we're probably gonna stay away from it. That's just my take. I think we talked about it. Not I don't know if me and you talked about Xling, but for me to invest, I've just got to find that good ROI. I've got to make sure I don't tie up a lot of money into it. I want a good return, and I just don't know if that would be a good investment on my side. Now, I mean, it definitely could play or pay, but I just think there's better money making opportunities in the market. Hey, what's up, buddy? How are you today, sir? Steak this week? Oh, see your message. Um, give me 1 sec, guys. I gotta fix something. 2 seconds here. Yeah, sorry about that. Apple looks like it's wanting more to the downside. If you're still in that, I don't know why you would be. I mean, it's possible that you could have bought back in, but or didn't sell. But I mean, we're back over entry, which is nice. We did hold this peach line, so we had quite a bit of room for consolidation from here to here, and inevitably held. But I don't know. The market, I feel, is wanting more to the upside. So just be careful. All right, so we're 33 minutes in. That means we can set our opening range. Let's do that real quick. IWM opening range there. Lock that in. And then opening range to the downside there. So as you can see, we're testing that opening range high here and here, and that session high from yesterday. So what does this show? Any takers? What are we seeing here? SPY session high. SPY session low. What we're seeing here is we're wanting to squeeze. We're pushing into this resistance. We've got this resistance, but our overall indicators are pointing up, but our candles are not trying to break above it. So it's just going to take that and squeeze it till hopefully it pops one way or the other. It's almost like an ascending wedge kind of setup. What's up, Leaf? How are you doing, buddy? Good, good, I hope. Looked for you yesterday. I don't think you were on. Hopefully you're having a good morning, drinking up some good coffee. I think you like coffee about as much as I do. Today might be a Starbucks day. Oh, you did for an hour yesterday? I hate I missed it. I need to catch up on your YouTube too. I skipped the gym yesterday, so ended up going to the movies, and I was going to go to the gym after the movies, and then after that, tired, screw it, went home. PayPal could get interesting to the downside. We just broke this level. Um, how we do all these lines on IWM SPY, you can apply that to anything. So if you're a PayPal trader, you want to apply it to PayPal, you definitely can. But you can see we just broke that opening range there. And I mean, you can draw on these as well. Are you going to stream today, Leaf? Definitely going to the gym today, so I might try to catch up on some videos today. You've been pumping them out. And yeah, so if any of you guys here like Leaf stream, feel free to promote your stream here. I don't mind. Leaf does an amazing job. Um, he streams, as you can tell, gaming. I guess we're nerds. We play Planet Coaster because that game is just freaking amazing, and he builds some crazy stuff. Which, if you've never checked out something like that, you want a good, relaxing game. Definitely want to check out. So go check out my man Loudleaf Gaming. Subscribe to his channel. He, like I said, does some cool stuff. Awesome guy. He's a Georgia fan, so I won't hold that against him. But I mean, everybody has their faults. That's probably Leaf's biggest one. Indeed. uh, but yeah, go check it out, guys. And like I said, if any of you guys stream, feel free. I don't mind. We're here to network and help everybody out as much as possible, and do what we can. As the old saying goes, erase the hate. All right. So PayPal. This was that quickly drawn opening range that we broke here to the downside. The retest we popped over, so kind of killed that momentum to the downside. Um, Apple still trying to the downside. As long as this peach line keeps going down, um, and it looked like SPY was going to try to retest this all-time high. We started pushing off of its opening range, but not getting that follow through and that confirmation. And this is that squeeze that we're watching here on IWM. We're still holding this session high from yesterday with wicking up to their opening range, but our indicators are slowly pushing up. So as you can see, we went from bigger candle, a little bit smaller, smaller. So you can see that squeeze. Oh goodness, guys. So it looks like Apple Spy's turning down a little bit here. Tesla's trying to turn down. Once again, we're setting up for this range. 54 to 52 and a half, so 2 point range on SPY. Seeing about the same, 369, 382, so a little over 2 point there. Just sitting in that range. Tomorrow is, like I said, CPI and a few other things. Oh, I already had it pulled up. So tomorrow is CPI, and then we've got jobless as well in the morning. Both of these are pre-market, so hopefully it will get all of our movement out of the way before we come in at 9:30. Then you got monthly Fed budget meeting tomorrow at 2, which is not much sentiment. So hopefully we get rid of a lot of this chop and this range boundness once we get through CPI and jobless tomorrow. Hopefully that kind of opens the floodgates and allows the market to breathe. But this could definitely continue till next Wednesday. Next Wednesday is FOMC with a rate cut decision. It's expected to be cut, um, which could be why we're seeing some of this movement. Once again, like we were talking about Xling earlier, I don't play into events and things like that. Um, to me, that's just gambling. So we could see some of this movement based off of pre-movement for that. But once we get through tomorrow, we should have a couple days of movement. Then Wednesday we've got that FOMC with a rate cut, and then after that we should get back to normal trading for a bit, hopefully. All right. You know what we have not done? Our dad joke for the day. Or for the morning. Dad died because he couldn't remember his blood type. I will never forget his last words. Be positive. You know, that's pretty fitting when you're on your deathbed and you tell your son to be positive. That's yeah, wow. Gotta love those. Hey guys, I don't make them up. They just kind of come as they are. But that was a better one. Yeah, some of the ones yesterday kind of sucked. The penguin one, if you guys were here for the penguin one yesterday, was cool. Um, how does penguins hold their houses together? They igloo them or something. I don't know. It was dumb, but it was a good one. But that one was funny. Be positive. Uh, I've got a I've got a frame that will get a kick out of that one. So we had some room for consolidation. Basically, room for consolidation means we've got room to move back to this peach line that we watch. We came down, we broke um, this opening range low on PayPal. We came back with that room for consolidation back up, and now we're pushing back down. So this could set up. Still squeezing a bit here. And Spy slowly grinding up. Okay. Look at that. Google Pop all-time highs. We in the private group have that Google poll. If you're still in it, um, this is it here. I don't know anybody that's still in it. Um, we've PT'd on it a few times, or broke over PT a few times, but nice little push there. Still squeezing even tighter here on this IWM. market's right there on wanting to make moves, but it's kind of afraid to. It seems like. Palantir. We haven't looked at Palantir in a little bit. Palantir with a good break off those moving support resistance. So this is the 1 hour. This is the 30-minute. Both confirm that we're over, and the 1 minute. I'm not too concerned, but if you got deep pockets, call swings on Palantir is not a bad idea. Probably not going to play it in the private group, but I will take a look at it and see. Once again, 30 days is going to be October 10th. Yeah, close to in the money. You're $700-800. Pretty expensive. Yeah, even shorter swings, 19th. It's 300-400, but Palantir's got room to the upside. I know we talked about Hood earlier, so Hood, Palantir, Apple, Tesla, Sound. If you follow that one, all those I feel are pretty decent for adding to the portfolio for long commons. I think they're great long term investment opportunities. Weeble's not bad. Weeble's cheaper than Hood. I do like all those for commons. Looks like Apple setting new lows. We can ask Magic 8 Ball. You guys can ask Magic 8 Ball too if you have any questions. Ask the Magic 8 Ball, is Apple going to keep dropping? Says Ja, whatever the hell that means. And then YouTube Magic 8 Ball says Outlook not so good. And as we just make new low of day. So, looks like Magic 8 Ball might not be looking at the same charts we are today. Still squeezing here, squeezing here. The market's doing this. It might be low on Magic. That's true. We need to. I don't know if you. Man, did you guys have a Magic 8 Ball growing up? Oh, I hated those things. You would shake it. I don't know why. Why would you shake it? But you would shake it, and then it'd get all these bubbles in it. And when the dice would come to the top, you couldn't read it because it was covered in bubbles. Then I'd get mad and throw it. But it might be low on Magic. Today's Magic 8 Ball, you probably can plug it into a charger and restore some of that magic. The the other day though, like I said, Magic 8 Ball was on top of it. Come on, look at this. That slow grind. I mean, you guys are seeing what I'm seeing here on on this, right? I mean, what color? Let's do this yellow. I mean, this is kind of what. That one kind of sucked, but kind of what I'm looking at here IWM. If you're not seeing what I'm seeing and trying to show you guys, this is like that squeeze I'm telling you about. As this peach line here moves up into this, our candles hopefully will squeeze and pop one way or the other. $184. So if you're in this, um, just please make sure you're managing your trade. $197. So we're close to 200 on that one. I mean, not 200. 100%. Excuse me. Haven't taken the trade yet. I don't blame you. We only took have taken that apple. Everything else is starting to set up. We're an hour in, so we may start taking some stuff. But I know we talked about it the other day. Cash is a position, um, so don't feel like you have to trade or make things happen. I mean, holding on to cash is definitely a trade. Getting kind of close here. See if we need to extend this out a little bit more or what. I mean, it's starting to move over a little bit. We just hit 205. Let me update that. 275. And everything else is just kind of floating along. So we could start seeing a little bit to the downside here. Would I play it to the downside? No. Not until we get under this 237.77. Then we got room here, but that's going to be a riskier trade. Once again, ETF, look at the entire market. SPY starting to drop back. Google lost its level. So yeah, some things starting to move. Okay, so here we go. That's the squeeze we were looking for. Squeeze, 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 and pop. Now, what are we going to do? We're going to look for the retest. What does that mean? Once we get that movement, that direction that we're looking for, we want to give it some time to see what the next candle is going to do and retest it. Are we going to push back up? Are we going to come back down? So we need to give it a little bit more time to make sure we're not just jumping the gun, so to speak. SPY back to opening range high. A few other things kind of leveling off. But if we look at what we've been watching here on PayPal, PayPal's doing the same thing. Let me put PayPal over here and we'll take a bigger look at it. So remember guys, these over here, the 2 minute, these we usually jump between the 1.5 or whatever we need. So you can see here we're starting to squeeze, but once we zoom out to the 5 minute, it's a little bit bigger, and we've got some more room for consolidation here and here. But that's this, and this is the same setup, just flipped. This IWM is more to the upside, PayPal's more to the downside. Same concept though. So if we draw that out, so we've got our major body of our candles here that we're seeing to the downside, or seeing to the horizontal side. And then we've got our movement to the downside, which there you go. That shows the squeeze that we're watching. This shows the squeeze that we were watching to the upside. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. a lot of people get bored with trading because it's a lot of this. It's a lot of sitting, waiting, watching. A lot of people um, rush the movement. A lot of people, oh, PayPal's dropping. Let me get in. You don't want to chase the movement. You want to find the good setup and execute. If you miss the movement, if you miss the setup, don't chase it. It's not worth it. So we've seen these drops back to the peach, drop back to the peach. See if we get another drop here on Apple. Um, those are just those consolidations that we've been looking at. Hopefully, we'll still get a downtrend. It looks like the peach is trying to level off a little bit, so we might get some of that action out of it. But we'll see. That's why I say manage your trades and watch it. Zoom in on this one a little bit and see what I see. So we broke this, which was our PM low from yesterday. We broke it, came back, looked for the retest, which is also VWAP, also our peach line. And if you look, also this moving gold line here, which is our a moving support and resistance. So we had quite a few here, and that's what we did. We came back up and retested, and now we're looking for more to the downside. Out of coffee. And this is that apple we were looking at. Up, down, up. Touch that peach. Starting to drop back. So if we can form that down. There we go. So that's that retest we were looking at back up to that pre-market low, and it looks like we're bouncing down, which means we PT'd on this trade. 0.39. So once again, sorry guys, the private group gets alerted to our trades in real time because those guys pay for it, and it's only fair for them. So for you guys, I don't alert it here until we hit PT. Just to, like I said, keep it fair for those guys. We alerted this one at 0.32. PT was 0.38 for 20%. And I know you'll look at that, Jason. 0.32 to 0.38 is only $6. Why do you get excited about that? Because you've got to look at the percentage, not the dollar. If I said, hey, every trade you take, you'll make 20% on it, would you be good? Hell yes. Sign me up. Let's make that 20% consistently every time, just pounding it in there. If I said, hey, every trade you're going to make $6 on, you can be like, man, it's only $6. I can't even get a Happy Meal for that. I'll pass. If you focus on the percentage, the dollar will come. If you focus on the dollar, you will lose that percentage. Just throwing that out there. And that's what we'll teach you in the private group. We go over things like that. Get out of here. 37p. So if you guys are interested in the private group that I was talking about, feel free to check it out. I'm not a high pressure salesman. If you want to, cool. If not, I'm fine with that as well. Completely up to you. Either way, we're going to do this every day, whether you join us or not. So if you join us, great. If not, no sweat off my back, because like I said, we're gonna do this daily. So it's completely up to you. But if you are interested, we um, offer a 7-day free trial on all of our subscription levels, and it's not a limited. So if you sign up for the platinum level, you get full 100% access to the platinum level. That includes the training room, the chat room, one-on-one sessions with me. We'll jump on a Skype, Zoom, whatever you want to call it, kind of thing, and I will show you my actual trading screen. I'll show you what I look at during trading, and then you can ask me questions, anything you'd like, and we can go from there. Be careful if you're in this one. We're coming into this support 237.05, but I will show you anything. If you have questions, Jason, how do you set up support resistance? We can go over that. If you we can start at the very basic, and that's what we do. We teach people how to become profitable options trader. I've had people come to us and say, "Hey, what the heck is an option? I know what stocks are. What's an option? I can teach you what an option is. I can teach you how to trade stocks, how to trade options, how to chart." I've helped people pick out their trading platforms, get those set up. Um, Really, anything, everything is included in those one-on-one sessions that you want to cover. Um, but when you sign up for the 7-day free trial, you get access to that. If you like it, great. Hang out, no contracts, no obligations. Stay as long as you want. If you don't like it, cancel. As long as you cancel in those 7 days, it's completely free. No harm, no foul. We'll just remove you, and then you're more than welcome to come hang out with us here on stream. Um, but yeah, speaking of stream, we do this every day the market's open. I do take some time off from time to time. So if you're new here, you never came across the channel, make sure you follow. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. If you're on Twitch, make sure you give us a follow. And then you can get alerted when we do this every day. It's completely free, so I don't know why you wouldn't. And we are working on our Twitch stream. I'm not a streamer. Well, I guess I am now. I keep saying that, but I've never really streamed before. We've been trading for a long time. I've had members wanting us to do the live trading, so we're finally starting to do that. Before I started this, I was never a streamer, never really paid much attention to it. So I'm still learning as I go, and we're trying to build the stream. We do have the I command setup, so you can check out some of the stuff. We do the fun stuff like the Magic 8 Ball, we do the dad jokes, but there's a complete list of commands that we've set up. We're trying to set up badges and things like that, and subscribers. So a subscriber here on Twitch is going to be different than subscribing to the private group, but I think here it's like $4.99, $5.99 a month, and we're setting up things that is going to be specific to our Twitch subscribers. That gives you a little bit more insight of what we're doing and things like that. Maybe it's like a one time a month one-on-one session. I mean, would you be interested in something like that or whatever? But if you got any suggestions what we can do for our subscribers here, I'm good with it. We've had some of our followers on Twitch anonymously donate some subscribers to the channel, which is cool. I absolutely love it. I think we've had 5 gifted twice, and 1 was 3. So I mean, people are already gifting subs to the channel and things like that. Oh, what? Look, going through that support. That's why this is pushing up. So be careful. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know how I got on that spiel, but we're here to help. Make sure you just like, follow, subscribe, and check out our socials. I can post that up as well. There's our link tree, and that'll give you all of our social stuff. And we're starting to get that same break here on that PayPal. Interesting fact that this peach line is starting to follow that PayPal. There we go. Hopefully you guys are having a good trading day. We're finally starting to see some movement, which is good. Which is good. So we're breaking through the support. Next, we've got our opening range low, which is going to be a little bit stronger right here. But if we can break that, then we've definitely got room for our pre-market. So one thing we're seeing is this is that big push on PPI. We're just retracing some of that. So. Walmart. I want to see Walmart back under 100. We will see if we get there. Close to 100% on this one. We keep, as you can see, we're still riding that peach line. Sound 14.5 call. Sound's not a bad option. I haven't looked at it this morning because we've been doing other stuff. But sound's definitely been moving. Out of the few that you've posted here for me to take a look at, I definitely like the thought of sound better than some of the other ones. So let's take a look at sound. Um, I would assume you're thinking this Friday expiration on the sound 14.5. So me, no, I wouldn't take a sound 14.5 right now. So 14.5 would put you right there. Few things for me about it. You got volume on your side, which I like. Um, which I like. But you're right now just kind of trending sideways. We're under VWAP, and if you get a call, you're so VWAP is your average trading price. Okay, if you're over VWAP, then more people think it's going to go up. If you're under VWAP, more people think it's going to go down, if that makes sense. So if you're under VWAP and you're buying calls, you're counter trend, or if you're above, you're buying puts, you're counter trend, if that makes sense. So that, for one, makes it a little bit more risky. So right now we're under VWAP. So I really don't like the idea of calls under VWAP unless it's just treated as a lotto or there's some other things that to take into consideration. Second, we have this peach line that we keep following. That peach line is showing me more to the downside. This red showing me more to the downside. So overall, it looks like sound is wanting more to the downside. And this is on the 5 minute. If we go back to the 1 minute shows we're just trending sideways. Then that would, to me, I would look at, kind of, are we squeezing kind of like we did here and here? But I'm not seeing a whole lot of that. So I probably would hold off on sound right now, to the upside, just because overall we're looking more towards the downside. But things are starting to move and pop in the market. Could this pay to the upside? Oh, definitely. Your 245 or 14.5 call right now is $44 on the bid. The ask, ask is 44. The bid's 14. So your 3 point spread, not bad there. Some of the ones you've looked at had a wide spread. So out of all the ones, I do like this one better. I think your probability is going to be that 40-50% range. I don't like the probability like we had here, and here on Apple earlier, but it looks like Apple's now breaking that peach, so be careful. Um, what I would recommend is just watch it. Look at your levels and see. I would be much happier if we got over that 14.5 and started looking at that 15, which would be your next strike, and look at maybe having to hold it for a few days if need be. But that's me. That's kind of where I'd be at. But if you do get it, let me know. Let me know how it plays out. Like I said, it very well could be profitable, but just go slow, be careful, have your stop loss PTs in place, and go from there. Hopefully that helped you out on that sound. if we can get through this opening range low here on IWM and through this little bit of support, so this green and this red doesn't carry as much weight as these other ones. Um, we definitely could see more to the downside here. SPY kind of doing the same thing. Tesla's really taking off. Not sure what's driving that. Starting to play into that support a little bit, as you can see. All right. Everybody knows what time it is. Dad joke time. What's brown and sticky? A stick. Come on. For real? It's brown and sticky. A stick. Come on, guys. That had to make you laugh. That was a good one. That was a good one. Brown and sticky, a stick. Who would have thought that a stick would be brown and sticky? Speaking of which, no spoilers or anything, but anybody seen Weapons? Going out on there. If you have, you'll know what I'm talking about. Went and watched it last night. Oh no. Love it. Oh, that was a good one. You need to start doing the dad jokes on yours. Tesla lost some steam there. Let's see if we can grind that IWM a little lower. And then Apple's just trending sideways. I don't think we're going to get 100 out of that one, 100% out of that one, guys. So just be careful. Make sure you're managing that one. TSM carrying my stock portfolio. TSM is nice. It's not one that we trade a lot, but we I keep it on my radar and do check in from time to time. So TSM's not bad, especially with all the China news and everything and the tariffs and import and I yeah don't think TSM is a bad common to have. We can pull it up though. TSM's having a good update, looks like. There's the 1 minute on TSM today. IWM held that opening range. It looks like we might start squeezing a little bit here as well. Now that the squeeze has happened, we can definitely come in and delete this one. Delete this one. Just kind of clean stuff up. We'll leave that one for a minute. Worst case, we grab it tomorrow. Yeah, TSM's not bad. SPY looks like it's setting up for more to the downside. Careful there. Could be losing IWM here. Be careful. I mean, not that it's a bad thing. We're in those IWM puts, so losing it to the downside is not bad. But be careful, manage your trades. We just shy, well, just hit 100% there. Nice. So I think that's our first home run of the day, I think. IWM 237p now, 0.64. So if you guys interested, I don't know if I've showed you this. Oh, sorry. Grab a little bigger here. This is almost done. Hang in there. This is a screenshot of what you would see in the private group. So this is IWM to the downside. We bought it right here, 1034. Posted what we were buying, the 237p. We bought it at $32, just like you see here. Immediately following, I posted our profit of 20% at 0.38, which here. And then this is when we hit our PT and started selling here 5 minutes later. And then now we're just managing it. And here, 1108, we just hit 100% on that one. So home run. So anyway, that's a little insight if you guys are not in the private group to see what we're doing in there. So like I said, if you're interested, let us know. A little bit of support there, guys. We could try and squeeze a little bit in here. SPY 654p 119 now. So you're in that 654p. If so, just be careful. You got these moving support resistance here, and then you have pre-market or sorry, not pre-market, opening range low 652.19, 652.69. Excuse me, that you're going to be dealing with to the downside. Missed that one. We just PT'd on another one. Actually, if you guys were looking at the picture that I just had brought up, it showed it in there as well. But we were right at PT on it, which is this one. PayPal. Of course, we were watching the squeeze. So that one wouldn't been too hard to know that we were in 66p. We alerted this one at 0.45. PT on this one was 0.54 for 20%. So what is that? 3 for the day? 3 for 3, one over 100%. Hey, actually, on that 654p that you're in, make sure you've got your stop loss and take profit set up. Looks like you are following that peach line here to the downside, which is perfect. But I would be cautious coming into this area here. 34% I'm out. Awesome. Great trade, man. Especially right there on that dip. See, watch. We're now hitting that opening range low. See if we don't push back up and retest off that movement. But perfect. You got in, you secured your profit, you're out. Who cares what it does? You're walking away 34%. That's awesome. So if this thing pushes back up and sets new all-time highs, you're out. You've made your money. Good move, man. Congrats on that one. I was up 120 on Son, so if so, I so have, and I'm just Holding the other one share just to see what happens. Are you okay? So 14.5 option. So you're in a call. Okay, so I guess we had talked about that after you had entered. So I haven't looked back at it since we had talked about it. But just make sure you're managing those positions, man. 120% is a fantastic return. But yeah, just make sure you're scaling out. That's what I like. Or if you're not good at scaling, just get out altogether. Okay, so you're swinging it. Yeah, just same thing. Even though if it's a swing trade, you've got time on it. Just make sure you scale out, and yeah, you're doing great, man. Definitely a good trade. Looks like Spy is going to hold that retest. Did you exit out 100% on that Spy, or are you scaling out? I only bought one. Ops guy, you're into what Spy puts? Here's that retest on that opening range low, so be careful. Okay, perfect. Brisket, baby. Yes, sir. So is this week going to be another brisket week or steak week? We're on track to have a good week. Maybe it looks bearish right now. It does. Well, once again, we're still over VWAP. So, like I was talking about earlier, even though it is looking bearish, it would be tough for me to get into a put. Looks like SPY trying to trend a little sideways here. SPY trying to push back up. Like I said, it was trying to trend sideways there a little bit. Now we're getting a little momentum back over that opening range low. So if you're in that one, please be careful. Do I ever trade gold? Not really. When we were doing some futures and stuff, we would dabble in it some. I watch gold. Um, don't really trade it. I think as a common, it's not a bad thing to have. Um, but no, I typically don't trade gold. But I mean, no reason not to. All right, we soaked up the consolidation here on SPY. Got back to this peach line, now dropping back. Funny enough, this is that downtrend that we were watching on PayPal, and we came back up, tested it, and now dropping back. So we could see more out of that PayPal. Here goes that break on SPY. IWM trying to as well. Apple following that downtrend, so we might get that. And we did. Wow, I hadn't looked back at this one a little bit. 56. Let's try and take out some trash, so to speak. So that's a second trade over 100 for the day. All right, dad joke incoming. It's been a while. I think circles are pointless. Yeah. Very, very, very true. Man, the dad joke's just been crazy today. Uh, hey Frog, don't I want to PM you later. Um, don't let me forget. Yeah, Spy trying to push back up. Hopefully you guys got out of that one green. Google back over all-time high, and PayPal's back at that trend line we had set up. Spy pushing back hard. Be careful if you're in this IWM still. It could follow. Um, yeah, Spy. Hopefully you guys sold that one. IWM starting to come back. Now we're at that resistance, 237.05. So I would not be in either one of those. Um, and Apple might be trying. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth, guys. If you're way up on some of these trades, don't keep pushing them. Manage your runners and play it smart. Also, if you're new here, please make sure you give us a follow. Like I said, we're trying to build the channel. Trying to find a position to enter on SPY right now. Don't force it. I wouldn't enter a SPY to the upside until we get over that 653.44 on the VWAP. But then we got 653.94. Ideally, I would like to see it over the 653.94 before I got in. Anything prior is going to be a scalp, and it's super risky. Scalp is my middle name. Scalp is my middle. Just be careful, man. Those scalps, I mean they can pay, but they can also burn you too. The 653.30, small little resistance right above that 653.44 is VWAP. Just be careful. I can't stress that enough. I know the idea of getting in just because it was pushing up is great, but for that longevity, it could bite. All right, now we're trying that VWAP level. Watch this VWAP. This is where I would, if I was looking at a scalp fixing, I would start looking at a scalp here. Rejected VWAP. That's what I was wondering or worried about with this spy. I was afraid we were going to get a rejection off of that VWAP. I started saying this a second ago. If you guys are new here, make sure you give us a follow here on Twitch. It's free, goes a long way to help us out. That feedback and stuff from you guys, it really goes a long way. And I appreciate you guys being more active here in chat as well. I know I'm trying to be more interactive with you guys, doing the jad jokes, the 8 ball and stuff like that. But it really helps. A lot of times I was sitting here, just felt like I was talking to myself. So you guys help. That interactive and excellent. You asking me these questions and stuff has helped. So thank you. I talk to myself. I even answer myself. Yeah, I do that sometimes too. So asking 8 ball, should everyone follow us on all of our socials? Um, Twitch doesn't like us. It says the answer to that isn't pretty. Oh man. YouTube says I don't think so. So maybe you shouldn't follow us, but if you want to, this is our link tree. I know 8 ball is kind of he's the man, but you might not want to go against him. But if you do, there's our link tree. All right, so Spy is popping that VWAP. I'm not entering it, but this is where I would start looking. I would look for a retest. I would come down to a tighter time frame here, start looking for the retest off VWAP, and then go. We do have this gold line here that I'd kind of be a little weary about, but that's where I'd start looking at the scalp on Spy. Oh, typo. And there's that confirmation on the 2 minute to pay or spy to the upside. So excellent. If you got into that, make sure you're just careful and you're managing your trades. That was a quick pop back down to VWAP. And now we're back through. That's why I didn't want to jump in on those spy calls. Way too risky. Why? What happened? Did you get in on it? Only down 5. I'm out. Yeah, that I knew that was going to be a quick one. We didn't really get a good push to the upside off that VWAP. The setup was starting to get there, but it was too scary for me. All right, guys. A little after 12. Thought we were going to see a little bit of a push here. Looks like we're going to start going a little sideways. Probably going to start wrapping up the stream. Just got some stuff to do. We've had a great day. 3 alerts. All 3 hit our profit target, 2 of which were over 100%. Our other one, Apple's starting to turn up. PayPal starting to turn up. IWM starting to turn up. So yeah, no reason to keep pushing it and trying to make something happen when we've had a fantastic morning. So please make sure if you're new here, you subscribe and follow. Like I said, goes a long way to really help us out, and I really appreciate you guys being here. The interaction, the chat. I think the stream is going in a great direction, and I can't thank you guys enough. If there's anything I can do for you, if there's anything I can do for the stream to make it better, please let me know. Is the audio right? Can I do something with the chat? The 8 ball, the dad jokes. If the camera placement, yeah, gym time, almost, man. I usually go around 3, but we're getting there. If there's anything we can do, camera placement. If you're tired of looking at the ugly left side of my face, let me know. Anything we can do, I can do for you. I'm always here to help. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And I will see everybody back here bright and early, 9 o'clock in the morning. So make sure you're not late, okay? Cheers. See you guys. I appreciate it. Thank you. Have a good day.